afternoon, Manis.
Good afternoon, sir.
So I was reading your SOP and you started with a very uh, intriguing quote from Martin Luther King, and
Yes,
that
sir.
is, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to
It's a threat
justice
to
everywhere."
injustice. Maybe. Yes, sir.
Everywhere. So can you explain a bit that how it is so important that you have added to the title to your SOP?
So, sir, policy is just creating impact to the people. So, if a negative policy is by any chance formulated into the society, it can create injustice to even a small part of community, just like the Narmada Bacha Andolan dam project. So, though it was benefited for lakhs of people, few communities or the tribals were in danger of losing their livelihoods. So, be it a justice to anyone, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So, this is what I see about this quote, sir. So this policy should be of use to each and every individual or citizen of this country, and it should not affect the livelihood or any. It should have a positive impact on them, sir. So that's why I've mentioned here about this quote, sir.
Okay, but then it is quite impossible to create a policy which can do justice for every part of the society. So in whatever way you create the policy, there will be some section of society which is basically not getting the advantage out of that policy, or in fact many of them might be at the disadvantage for that policy. So there is an injustice associated with every policy. So how do you say that we can create, or we should create, a policy which can do the justice for all the part of the society?
Actually, sir, I haven't mentioned this in my application form. It's just here. Um,
Mm.
should I explain more on this?
So just tell me is it possible to create a policy that will do justice for every part of the society?
Yes, sir, it is possible. So every minorities are joined together, they form the majority of our country. So looking after the each and interest of every minority and looking after their needs and demands and solving their disputes can also help us to increase the prosperity of our nation. So I think policy can help and satisfy all the needs and all the injustice happen to the people in all of every part of the country, sir.
So Gago, give me an example of one policy which is fair to every part of the society.
So the right to education, it is one of the policies which helped every individual to get the basic education that he needs and to survive in the society. So this is one of the major education policy where, and also the new education draft policy, which also helps to upgrade their personality and their knowledge. So this is one of the example of such policies which can uplift all the people together, sir.
So you just mentioned about new education policy. Can you differentiate few things that was not there in older version of education policy, which has been now included in new education policy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So previously we had public examinations only in our grade 10th and grade 12th. But now they have introduced examinations for the grades like standard 8th and from 5th to 8th. So this has reduced the tension that the student has to incur and has to face when he is giving up his exam. So this will reduce the fear, and also it can. We are also proposing a new theory of teaching at the right level instead of teaching at the right age. So instead of teaching everyone who's 10th, who's of age of 10th particular subject, just teaching according to their brain and according to their understandability, it can also help them to gain more knowledge. So this theory is imposed in our education system so that the students can also gain more knowledge and insights from this education. And statistics also says that many of the students are from the grade 5 are finding it difficult to read and write of the basic Hindi, English or Tamil, any regional language of that is given to the third grade student. So this is what made them to come up with this teaching at the right level instead of teaching at the right age. So this is one of the major path-breaking change that new educational policy proposes. And also, speaking on behalf of the teachers, it also asks the teachers to complete certain post-graduation MEd. Earlier we had there was no such requirements for a teacher to teach in schools, but there are certain education requirements that are being proposed on the teachers in this new educational policy, which also helps the teachers to improve themselves and give a better knowledge to the children.
Okay. Anything which is related to higher education?
Yes, sir. The government's proposal of e-Vidya and many other internet materials have helped the people of higher education, mostly women, because they are the most vulnerable, because in the society, every men make use of all the available opportunities, and women are still pushed down. So to improve their case, even we are very well modernized, there is still some women lie back in the society. I mean, they are still back in the society, in the be it living or be it earning or anything. So government is planning to teach more, to concentrate more on women's education, because the dropout rate are also more in women comparing to men after their schoolings. So funding them and providing a good infrastructure and pedagogy has improved a lot in this area, sir. So this is about the higher education on women particularly.
Okay. And what about research?
Pardon, sir?
Have you read anything which has been included in new health new education policy related to research?
No, sir, no idea, sir. Haven't
Okay.
read anything.
Okay. So what is your subject in your graduation or undergraduation that you are doing in?
I was pursuing a BCom honors in my undergraduation,
Okay.
and yes,
So
from
what made you interested in public policy? Why didn't you go for MBA actually?
just like even I had my dream to pursue an MBA in an IIM or in a foreign university, but my meeting with many new people in Delhi. Once before coming to Delhi, I was just a normal guy who had no experience or who had no vision about the society or anything. And when I come to Delhi and I had an opportunity to work with certain NGOs as an intern, where I founded the daily struggle of every normal people who faces. And also I had the curiosity how the policies are being made and how it is being formulated into a law. And when the protests for CAA and many other things were happening, I wanted to know why this caused a rage among the people. And so this and how a law is passed into from in a parliament, and how it is being benefited by the people. And instead of merely commenting about the policies, I wanted to be a change, or I wanted to answer their questions from the government side. So that's why I have chose this, sir. Even policy can make an impact in every people's life, and like we face policy in our daily life, be it health policy, be it educational policy, be it digital policies, be it transportation. We face public policies in each and every form of our life, and each and every sector that we come across in our daily lives. So that made me choose public policy as my post graduation.
So what are the other options that you have if you are not getting selected in NLU? What will you do?
I've also applied for the same course from Tata Institute of Social Science, sir, and I've given my interview there, and I'm also expecting the for my results there.
Any other college if you are not getting selected in these two?
No, sir, only these two, because of the visionary coaching that is given in these two colleges. I've chosen these two, sir,
Okay.
and I'm
So
fixed to pursue public policy in my as my PG. Even if I'm not selected in this year, I would pursue even again once again in the next year, sir.
okay, so you are so determined with the public policy.
Thank you,
So
sir.
so, so I was not appreciating actually.
Yes, sir.
So so the thing is that what is your career goals that you think that you have, and you think that it can be only achieved through public policy?
Okay. So as I said earlier, I wanted to be uh, negotiator between the government and the people. So I wanted to link them, and I wanted to be a bridge, act as a bridge between themselves. So I would like to see myself put into the shoes of a policy analyst or a policy researcher, and meet every people, every community, and uh, be a voice to all those worries, problems that they face in the society. And I would like to carry their voices to the parliament and to the government and make them heard. And so this is what made me choose public policy, and this is where I see myself in the next coming years.
Okay, so do you know any organization which is actually working in this line, like they are creating the bridge between the uh, community and the government?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually,
Like,
I had attended a seminar with a organization called the Center for Civil Society. So
mhm.
that's the place where I learned about public policy, and there's a specific course for public policy. And there, they told me that they are being a voice for the people of Sarojini Nagar, the shop, the MSME shop owners. So the police and the government are not considering the plights of these people in the Sarojini Nagar. So this Center for Civil Society acted as a flag bearer, and took the concerns, and took the injustice that the people, the small scale businessmen and all the women who are dwelling in the roadside and who are earning from shops that are on the roadside. So they took their voices to the government, and they helped them to create a union for those people, and now they are safe from all the problems of the society, sir.
So Danis, where you from actually? The native
I am from Tamil Nadu, sir.
Tamil Nadu. Which
Yes,
district?
Salem.
Salem.
Yes,
So who is the MP from your area?
Mr. Parthiban from the party DMK, sir.
DMK.
Yes, sir.
So do you know anything that he is doing for your area, or any initiative that your MP has taken?
Yes, sir. He has built a school in one of a hilly region where there is no bus facility actually. There's an elementary school he had built for the betterment of the children who are there, and
So
this is
so
the
under
recent.
under which government these schools come,
Under the
is it
state.
under state government? But he's an MP. So how did
Sorry,
he
sir.
build a school which comes under state government?
No, sir. It was, I think, under the Prime Minister's fund. I'm not sure.
So matlab, you are not actually aware about the autonomy of the school or administration of the school.
Yes.
So education comes in what list? Is it in center list or state list?
It should be in both the lists, in concurrent lists, sir. It should be in both the lists.
It should be, or it is.
I think it is in the concurrent list of both the state and the central, sir.
Okay. And what about health?
Even health is also in the state and central governments, both their lists, because of in the recent pandemic also I was able to see some autonomous decision being taken by the state government, and there were also certain discussions being dependent on the central government. So I think I say this both education and the health is in the concurrent list of both the state and the central, sir.
Okay. So anything that is under state list and not under center list, can you list something which is only in state list?
No idea, sir.
Okay. So what was your favorite subject in graduation?
Mm. So I had political science as my elective. That was one of my favorite subjects in my graduation. I got to learn more about the caste system and the people who fought against the caste in my college just because of
So
the political science.
so political science is one of the favorite
Yes,
subjects. So can
and
you
that helped me to incline towards this policy also, sir.
okay. So can you suggest can you point out some differences of the federal structure which is there in India and which is in US, the kind of federal structure that we follow and US follows.
The federal structure here is more autonomous, and we have given the what to say. Mm, the autonomy is given from the central state to districts and even to the panchayati raj, and I don't think US has this kind of autonomy, sir. And what else? No, sir. That's it, sir.
Okay, Danis, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So हाँ तो for feedback
Yes.
I would say कि पहले तो नीचे से चलते हैं and I'll see the interview again and give you more feedback. एक तो तुम्हें वो list की clarity होनी चाहिए. Primary education is the subject of state, ठीक है?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Higher education comes in both.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है, तो तुम जनरली तुम देखोगे कि जैसे मतलब ऑफ कोर्स एजुकेशन कम्स इन बोथ द लिस्ट, बट बेसिकली इट्स मेजरली पार्ट ऑफ स्टेट लिस्ट प्राइमरी एजुकेशन. जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट जो है वो केंद्रीय विद्यालय बनाती है ना, विच इज बेसिकली फॉर द पीपल हु आर वर्किंग इन सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. ठीक है. सिमिलरली हेल्थ में भी, हेल्थ जो प्राइमरी हेल्थ या हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ स्टेट लिस्ट. तुमने देखा होगा कि जितने भी हॉस्पिटल्स होते हैं ना, सारे स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के होते हैं. द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल वही होंगे जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा फंडेड कॉलेज के हॉस्पिटल्स होंगे, जैसे एम्स हो गया या फिर मिलिट्री डिफेंस, इन सब ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के हॉस्पिटल्स होते हैं ना, वो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट होते हैं. तो हाँ, तो ये क्वेश्चन हमने इसलिए पूछा था कि जो तुम्हारे एमपी ने स्कूल बनवाया है, उस स्कूल का मैनेजमेंट कौन करता है. मेरी बात समझ आ रही है ना? इज इट प्राइवेट? जो एमपी, जो तुम्हारे यहाँ के मेंबर इन पार्लियामेंट ने स्कूल बनाया है, उसको मैनेज कौन करता है, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट या सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, है ना? तो ये तुम्हें ध्यान देना चाहिए. नहीं, सेंट्रल करती नहीं होगी, बिकॉज सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हैज अ डिफरेंट प्रोसीजर टू क्रिएट एन स्कूल. It can't be just created by MP, है ना? तो स्कूल ऐसे नहीं बन जाते, मतलब there is a provision to create a school. ठीक है. किस बिल के अंदर में बनेगा, तो गवर्नमेंट का कोई भी काम जो है वो ऐसे इजीली नहीं होता. दूसरा क्या था, एक हमने वो भेजा होगा तुमको बहुत पहले, एक पॉलिसी केस स्टडी हमने भेजी थी, याद होगा, जिसमें 12-13 केस स्टडीज थे पॉलिसी से रिलेटेड. PDF फाइल था, एक्सरसाइज था, याद है तुम्हें? है, याद है तुम्हें? Do you have that soft copy or hard copy of that?
Yes sir, I have it with me sir.
हाँ, तो हाँ, उसमें एक चेन्नई की NGO है which does exactly the same thing that you are asking, and the NGO actually works as a bridge to the society and the government. क्योंकि जो पॉलिसी बनती है ना, वो इवन द स्टेट पॉलिसी है ना, विच इज बीइंग क्रिएटेड, वो क्या होता है कि कैपिटल में क्रिएट होता है, एंड स्टेट इटसेल्फ इज अ बिग ज्योग्राफिकल एरिया. तो कई बार क्या होता है कि इवन स्टेट पॉलिसी मेकर्स आर नॉट वेरी मच अवेयर, और जो सोसाइटी की इंटीग्रिटी है, जो कम्युनिटी की इंटीग्रिटी है, पूरी तरह से नहीं पहचानते. तो उनके पॉलिसी में भी ये फ्लॉ होती है कि व्हाट दे हैव क्रिएटेड इज नॉट बेसिकली मैचिंग विद द डिमांड ऑफ द पीपल. तो वो जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, NGO है, विच एक्चुअली वर्क्स इन दैट डोमेन विच यू वांट टू वर्क विद. ठीक है. तो वो केस स्टडी है, उसका वो वाला पार्ट पढ़ लेना. ठीक है, अगर नहीं मिले तो मुझे बताना. आई विल गिव यू अगेन.